Hello and welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to be coloring using these Hurrem watercolor pencils. I got them years ago. I'm coloring this image which is printed on Fabriana mixed media 250 GSM paper. I bought the image from Etsy and it was actually for the hashtag colorful journey because the picture makes me think of a peaceful, prayerful time and therefore a spiritual journey. That's at Taverna had that hashtag, and this is an image by Derya Cakirsoy. I think that's how you pronounce her name. I'd like to apologize for having taken some time off. Life has been happening and I've been running short on time, and so much as I've wanted to create a video for you guys, I just actually haven't had the time. This particular image took me 6 days to color, so I'm compressing 6 days and probably about 14 hours coloring into the one video of probably about 35 or 40 minutes, just so that if you take a long time to color something, don't think that the videos you see are done so quickly. They're actually not. I'm going to speed up quite a lot of the coloring. I just used these pencils and then wet them using a normal paintbrush and water rather than a water brush. I really love this image and I've always wanted to color it, and the lady, she reminds me so much of a friend of mine, and I don't think this friend ever watches my videos, but she reminds me of my friend Michelle Hauch, who's a beautiful woman and looks to me just like this beautiful lady. So I'm dedicating this particular coloring to her if she ever happens to watch it. So I'm wetting it in sections and then just going ahead and using this color. I'm using the watercolor base as a base color, and I detail the whole image in Prismacolors later on. I'm sorry this looks so jerky. I didn't want to do a part 1 and part 2 of this image because it's not a teaching video or anything, so I didn't think that there was enough to kind of give you guys. I didn't have anything specific that I wanted to say. I hope everyone's been enjoying getting ready for Halloween and all. This is not really a Halloweeny picture, but because she's kind of mysterious and everything, maybe it fits in the October vibe. We don't actually celebrate Halloween here in South Africa at all. Very occasionally some kids will knock on the door, but it's like once every 4th year or something, and it's one little bunch of children. It's a dangerous country to live, so kids don't wander around at night, so I think that's the main reason. So I've sort of finished the undercoat of the skin, and I've ummed and ahed about colors. I've always had a real love for blues and turquoises, so I decided to make her outfit and her headdress in a sort of blue and turquoise. And looking at this headdress, I think it's actually a plait, but I couldn't quite decide, so I decided to treat it as a plaited scarf with her hair underneath it. I haven't actually seen other people's interpretations of this image. I must do a bit of an internet search for it and see. The name of the image is Hurrem Sultan. So I'm going to have a look and see if I can find that. I'm going to speed this up again now. Please excuse the background noises. If you can hear a machine, it's my laundry busy being done. So I just needed to get it done this morning. I do love this young lady. I think she's got such a pretty face. Oh, there we go. My washing machine, my laundry plays a whole Schubert di Forella at the end. You can probably hear it in the background. I'm going to pause till it's finished. So that's finished playing its tune. I love the German Lied di Forella. I don't know if any of you ever listen to classical singing, but I like it very much. I used to perform it quite often, and now I've set it as a piece for one of my pupils because it's in my inner ear because of the laundry all the time. I look at this, I've got very, very thin hair, and my hair's always a bother for me. I used to perm it when I was younger, but hairdressers don't really do perms anymore. And so it's thin and lank. It's not unhealthy, but it just lays so flat, and I keep trying to buy little hair pieces or little mini things to put on it to try and bulk it up, but nothing looks nice. And I look at this little hat that this lady's wearing and wish I could find something like that to make myself look nice. Do any of you guys ever use like extra hair on your hair or anything like that? I used to when I was on stage all the time. It really gives you a boost when your hair looks nice. At the moment, mine really doesn't look nice, and it's very, very aging. So I suppose that's why it's nice to colour in pretty young lasses. I found it quite interesting using this Fabriano Mixed Media 250 GSM paper. It's very sturdy paper, but I don't know, the feeling for me is that it's quite hard. Don't know if any of you have ever used it. I think it would be very nice to use for next time I print something, I'm going to try using my gouache on it because I think it would hold up to that very, very nicely. I've just paused the video for a little while because now there's a truck that's been reversing up the road. All sorts of things happening in the neighborhood this morning. I now have the next load of laundry in, and I've sped up this lot. I decided to make this a paler aqua undershirt or dress or part of her dress, whatever it is, I'm not sure. And now I'm going to start detailing with my famous Prismacolor pencils. I love my Prismacolors. They're my very favorite pencils. So first, of course, we've got to start with the skin, which needs quite a lot of work, I think. I'm doing a bit of, I decided that was hair or like bits of the hair, so I'm using that shadow as hair and just doing a bit on that with the little eyebrows. This image has sort of a certain amount of grayscale in it, and with this very thick paper, it's proving to be fairly difficult to cover. So the pencils are working better than the watercolor did to do that, and I've decided I'm going to do the jewelry and detailing in glitter gel pens, so that works out. Looking at this in the video, it looks like it's quite smooth, but I'm going to zoom in and you will see how it's not really so smooth. The texture of the paper is shining through. I don't know if it's more apparent to you. Not really. It's difficult to see on the video. It looks smoother than it actually is. There's quite a lot of texture, paper texture, showing through. So I'm going through the darker areas with this darker peach color, the more shadowed areas. The main skin color I'm going to use is this light peach. And I'm trying a nice sharp point and going over this, over the whole skin area. I'm not very good with skins. I don't know. I have a friend that does a lot of faces and she does the most beautiful skin tones. I still struggle with them, but I love the images. They're so beautiful. I felt quite sad yesterday. I was reading a Facebook post from one of the artists that does beautiful skin tones, and she was saying how difficult it is with her business in Russia at the moment and all the madness, and there's so many Ukrainian artists as well. It's really such a difficult time. And most of us general normal people aren't involved in politics and just wish to live normal lives. It's hard. Really, really hard. So now I'm just detailing with the darker blue. And you can see the kind of rough texture of the paper with this pencil color. I quite like that look of highlights that's coming through, but I don't like the paper texture shining through. I'm not sure what you think. I'd love to know in the comments what you feel when you see things like that. So now I'm doing the eyes with pencils. And we'll see how they carry on. This little black pencil of mine is so tiny. It's really a little nub. I saw the most incredible art that somebody had done with pencil nubs, where they'd made whole, what do you call them? It was a whole sculpture, that's the word I couldn't think. So I think these eyes are starting to look nice. Now I'm going to have to put a white reflection in with the trusty gel pen, which always helps. And now some more skin. I'm using a darker henna color now for the shadows. And some shaping. I went through a phase of trying to draw faces, but I didn't manage to do it very well. My grandson is busy drawing kind of manga faces at the moment, and I think he's doing very well. He's 10, still very young, but I think he does a really great job. So now, I think for the rest of this video, I'm going to add some music for you guys to enjoy, and you can see how the face progresses. I do use some solvent at the end of the day. I tried going over it in layers and layers and things, and I got a bit impatient, so at the end of the day I used the solvent. It reaches a stage like this where it looks quite ugly, but then it starts to pan out and get more structure to the face, so you can see how things progress. So as you can see, I've now used some solvent and everything, and now I'm adding even more layers. It's a long story, isn't it, to get an image colored, to have some vibrancy and everything. I feel a bit sad about the highlights in the hairpiece having disappeared with the solvent, but I'm happier about the vibrancy of the color, so I suppose one can't have everything. I contemplated adding some with white gel pen, but I'm not sure about it. We'll see as we progress. I decided to blend this out with a pale color so that I didn't end up losing all the highlights in the hair. And I added a little bit of hair in the middle there. I wasn't quite sure. And now I'm outlining the eye with a fine liner. And I really think this makes quite a difference. Her eyes, the way they're drawn, these beautiful big round baby eyes, they're just gorgeous. I suppose that's what makes her such a pretty girl, is these big expressive eyes. So I do find using mixed media, like being able to use watercolor and crayons and fine liners and solvent and everything on a page, is what I enjoy most in my coloring. I've been watching Sandy showing us her using acrylic paint, and I've used acrylic paint in my Daydreams book that I completed a year or more ago, and there's a full page through on the channel. You've probably seen it. There are quite a few background pages on that I used acrylic paint for, and it's great actually. I haven't done it for a while, so I hauled out the acrylic paint the other day to kind of go over something else that I'd messed up. I do like to have my paints to use as a great cover-all for when things have gone wrong, and acrylics and gouache are great for that because you can layer and layer on top and hide things that didn't work before. Now onto the lips, which I did not do with watercolor beforehand, so these required quite a few layers. These smiley lips, my youngest grandson has got lips like this with the sides that go up. I wish I could share a photo of him with you, but we're very, very private with our little ones. We don't want to endanger them by showing them on screen at all on things like YouTube or any social media, but he is so cute and he's got that kind of a smiley face. They are coming to visit soon. I can't wait for them to arrive. So now we're onto the gel pens, and I'm using my Pentel Sparkle Pops here. I've been loath to use them lately because they were busy being used up and I didn't want them used up, but I've ordered some more, so they'll be on their way from Amazon soon. So I think we need to get to the end of this video because it's taking a bit long, and I think I'm going to show you the completed image. Here we are. This is with all the gel pen, and I did gel pen around the sides and crayons, pencils on the flower. I hope you've enjoyed this video, and I would so love hearing from you. Thank you very much for watching, and have a colourful and happy week. Bye-bye now.